What's good, y'all? It's me, Chris, back here with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing a whole lot of shit. But before we get into that, if you like, you can follow me on my other social media platforms. Here's my Twitter and my Instagram. And while y'all are here, you can check out some of my recent videos. I did a video about how y'all don't get paid enough to defend Beyonce and stan culture. I talked about the safety of queer men in barbershops, as well as we discussed the 2020 BET Awards. So go ahead and check those out. Today's video is a different type of format. I'm titling this video called Now You Know, where we just talk about some of the recent trending hot topics, so that way I don't have to do a whole dedicate a whole individual video to one set topic. I've tried doing this once before last year. I had talked about Basketball Wives, Emo Black Thought, and Pharrell in GQ magazine. Girl, that video was supposed to be quick. That's the whole point of, like, quick, rapid fire, trending topics, giving my quick thoughts. And that video ended up being 30 minutes long. So I gave up on trying to do that type of content. So we're back at it again. We're going to give it another shot. These type of topics, I would say, generally would be something you would find me giving my quick thoughts on Twitter. Like I've said in previous videos, like if you don't see a video about something that's trending or something very relevant, that I've probably already given my thoughts about it on Twitter. But we're gonna try something new. Try to make this quick. Just give y'all something to like kind of get like in and out of here. So first thing I want to talk about is the Washington Redskins. They are a football team for the NFL. So recently they came out with a statement talking about how they're going to be changing the name of the team finally. So they came out with this press statement. They released it on Twitter. I'm sure they may have released it on other social media platforms as well. They said there's some shit about how they were talking about, they had announced a review a few weeks ago. So now today we are announcing we will be retiring the Redskins name and logo upon completion of this review. Dan Snyder and Coach Rivera are working closely to develop a new name and design approach that will enhance the standing of our proud tradition-rich franchise and inspire our sponsors, hold on to that, fans, and community for the next 100 years. So, first thing I found to be really weird is that the NFL team still used the Washington Redskins name and header and logo for this press statement. Like, if you have found that upon your review that this was inappropriate, why are you still using it in this format? Weird. And also, like, at the end of the day, all this stuff comes down to money. That's why I say hold on to the word sponsors. Nobody is invested in changing. Nobody really cares about actual morality, only when it comes down to said money. I believe I read an article about this specifically, that Nike, FedEx, and some other company was writing letters towards certain NFL teams and saying that we were going to be pulling out sponsorships if things weren't addressed accordingly. So it's just a matter of money. Kaepernick stood took a knee for months, and the NFL paid him dust. If anything, they did not provide any type of protection or type of platform for him to speak his piece. They're only coming out now because it's a matter of money. Native Americans have been talking about the inappropriateness and the cultural appropriation that is taking on the Washington Redskins as a name and using Native Americans as a mascot for literally decades. They've been talking about this for decades and addressing how just ridiculous this is, and how just much of offensive it is to Native American people. And just now, finally, when it comes to it being about dollars, things change. And it sucks because right now, to be problematic is not profitable. Anti-blackness has always been profitable. It still is, but we're now starting to see like a slight shift in which we get pockets of which it's not, right? Like, we came from a place where it was like overtly okay to be anti-black. Think of like the beginning of Hollywood and a lot of those films, i.e. Birth of a Nation, right? Then we get to a place in time where it's like okay for you to just not be overtly bigoted, right? But but no one's gonna go out of their way to change their minds if you have a problem. But it's like, I hate gays or I hate black people, right? Now we're getting to a point where like even a little slight a bit of inappropriateness is just not profitable. It's not good business for us, right? So cool that they're changing this. Is this going to benefit Native American people? Probably not. Are we giving resources and any money that we've profited off from this name and the image of Native American people? No. So who does this really benefit? The NFL doesn't benefit Native American people, and at this point, I'm sure Native American people don't even want this anymore. Anywho, child, moving on. NFL has been irrelevant to me. The only last thing I was holding on to was halftime shows, and I haven't seen a halftime show since Beyonce performed 4 years ago. So I'm delivered. The next story that I want to talk about is the unfortunate tragic death of Naya Rivera. She starred as Santana on the Glee series for like 6, 7 seasons. Iconic role, very beloved by many. But last week, around Thursday or Friday, there was reports coming out that she was missing. Some reports had even said that she was presumed dead after her son was found in a boat in the middle of a lake in Southern California. And there was just so much mishandling of the news and information of Naya's body. Like I said, people saying that she was presumed dead before they'd even like started looking for her, before we even have more answers to it. Just people wanting to be first. And then it comes out on Monday that her body was actually found. And TMZ, they really need their ass whooped. Came out before the sheriff county could even have a press conference at 2 p.m., came out around 12 and had announced the news. And unfortunately, TMZ fabricates a lot of stories, but when it comes to death, they pretty much get it right. So I already had knew, but I was just like, I'm not going to speak on this, and I think it's so inappropriate for anyone to be commenting on this until like the sheriff, the people who've actually done their due diligence, do the work to find out whether or not Naya Rivera is alive, should be the ones talking about this before anyone else. Let's give the families a chance to find out about their loved ones before they have to read it trending on Twitter. Like, that's exactly the same thing that happened with Kobe Bryant. It's very sad. I think that we really, like I said in my last video with this whole celebrity culture, we really need to like stop seeing celebrities as brands and products, because we literally dehumanize them. We don't see them as one of us, and there just becomes a lot of mishandling in the ways of their humanity. And I definitely think this is one of the cases in which Naya didn't get the proper handling of her death that anyone deserves to be. And I'm sending all the condolences out there to Naya's family and her child, who was 4 years old. I don't want to make this anything of a heroic moment. I don't want to use this as a martyr. Or just watch King of Reed's Justin video, and he had great commentary on that, of just like, this woman just died and she's leaving behind her 4-year-old child. We can remember her on all her greatness, the pictures, her performances on Glee, but this woman lost her life trying to save her child's life. Like, let's just respect it and send all our loves and thoughts and good vibes to Naya Rivera's family and her children and her child. So the last thing I want to talk about is all this chaos that ensued around Chance the Rapper and his tweets. So he was having a conversation about Kanye West's presidential run, and I'm going to read y'all a few of his tweets and we can discuss. So one of the first things that he tweeted out was, "Are you more pro-Biden or anti-Ye," referring to Kanye, "and why? I just get that you'll want to reply that you're just trying to get Trump out, but in this hypothetical scenario where you're replacing Trump, can someone explain why Joe Biden would be better?" And then I guess people may have replied, and he followed up with another tweet saying, "I finally got the answer now. I understand y'all trust Biden more than y'all trust Ye. I think I understand why. I just don't feel the same way." Right? Another tweet then said, followed by that, "I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of you niggas is racist." Now, I just want to say that I think he was getting some type of confusion as to why people were still siding with Biden when we had like a new, fresh presidential candidate with Kanye West. So the first thing I want to address in these series of tweets from Chance is that have we not learned our lesson that unqualified celebrities do not make a good fit for the president? Like, have we not learned our lesson for these past 4 years from Trump? How do you not see that clear as day that like just because somebody is visible does not make them smart or fit to do said job of leading the nation of millions of people? That's one. And just because people have, decided that Biden is going to be the best vote over Kanye does not mean that people are team Biden. It means that people are like reasonable, right? And it doesn't make you racist. It doesn't make you anti-black just for the sake of not voting in for a black person. I think we need to start like questioning what it means to be pro-black. It doesn't mean that you are pro-blind. It does not mean that you cannot clearly see and have critical thought. Like, just because you're not voting for someone black does not mean you're anti-black, bruh. Come on. So I guess Chance got to a place of frustration with him trying to explain his point for people to understand that he had tweeted out, when you get to the top of the hill and realize that you have to die on it, right? I'm like, this fool is going to keep doubling down. So then Terry Crews chimes in, of all people, and goes, I feel your pain. And somebody had tweeted out separately to Chance, is Terry Crews tweeting for you? And Terry Crews quote tweeted it with, nah, Chance the Rapper is just doing the math and seeing a lot of things don't add up. So then Chance replied under that tweet, fuck. Because he knew he was in trouble. When Terry Crews is confirming anything you believe in, that's when you know you done fucked up. So I don't know if he had all of a sudden an awakening. I don't know if he was listening to more of the replies. So then Chance had finally tweeted out with a final tweet. Okay, sprinting downhill now. I understand the improbability of Yi winning the 46th presidential seat, and I understand that everyone voting for Biden isn't necessarily doing so enthusiastically. I am for black liberation and do not accept my recent endorsement from Terry Crews. Y'all, when I saw this tweet, I was blown away. I don't know what it was. I know a lot of people are crediting it to the Terry Crews cosign, but it looked like he was already trying to unlearn some things and rework through his thought prior to Terry Crews chiming in on the conversation. But child, I said, wow, I have never seen anyone in real time get publicly addressed and have a change of thought within like an hour. Within an hour. And am I praising him? No, I don't praise cis hetero men. But I was just shook. I couldn't. Celebrities, especially men, they double down with these type of things, i.e. Terry Crews, i.e. Kanye West. Like, men are so egotistical, and they think that in investing in manhood is the idea of being egotistical. And Chance was checking his ego and was admitting that he was wrong and saved his ass. He lives to see another day. I know that. That's for damn sure. Will I go out my way to support this man? No. I mean, he was rooting for Kanye West as a... How are you for black liberation and you couldn't see clearly from jump that Kanye was not a viable candidate for the 2020 election? Nigga, please. Anywho, that's all the thoughts I have. Hopefully this was like quicker, more rapid. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I'm looking at my camera time. It's less than 23 minutes, so that's good. I'm sure that will be like a nice 15 to 16 minute video for y'all. Leave your comments down below. I would love to hear what y'all think about these 3 topics. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the Crispy Noah family, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!